All right, so we're in one of Brent's 3 greenhouses.
That's right.
Behind us right now, we've got cucumbers and tomatoes. Brent is going to walk us through a little bit of what we've got going on in here. Maybe a little bit loud because there are fans in here. What are the fans doing for us?
So the fans that are loud right now are circulating airflow. This being a production greenhouse, we have to keep air moving to keep the funguses and the bacteria down. Okay. That's our first line of defense. Of course, when the greenhouse gets hotter and the end fans kick on, it's pulling from one end to the other. So there's less need to circulate.
Gotcha.
Because it's direct
just movement,
pass through.
it's just back and forth.
Through. Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So, funny story. How do we pollinate tomatoes in here?
You have tomatoes that don't need pollinating? Does that not exist?
No. Every tomato needs pollination.
Okay, so that's something we all just learned?
Yep.
Do you put insects in here?
Nope.
How do you do it?
It's by wind.
By wind?
By wind.
Okay.
So as you can see on the far end, that big block right there is a cooling pad. So there's a big gable outside that completely opens up and flows air across. So from this stage down, we use an electric leaf blower. Go through here.
No way.
Blow the blooms. Wow. From here to here, it's natural. If these fans are running, they're getting pollination.
Wow.
And you can actually take an electric toothbrush and a flower that's open like that, you may be able to do it by hand. So see it right there? Just hit down on my finger. So that tomato is now pollinated.
Wow. So because there's so much airflow and so much movement, that process is gonna...
It's just shaking.
It's just gonna shake it down through.
It's a shaking, yeah.
Interesting.
So tomatoes are perfect flowers as far as male and female parts, but they don't have any nectar to attract bees. Okay. So bees don't like to go to tomatoes. You can put bumblebees, the big bees, are the only ones that will work a tomato flower. Honeybee, you will never see a honeybee in a tomato field.
Wow. What type of tomatoes are these that we have? Are these just heirlooms?
So these are heirloom Cherokee purples.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everything in here is heirloom Cherokee purples.
So from little to cultivated, picked plant, how long are we thinking?
So most tomatoes are in the 75 to 80 day range from transplant. Typically we're running, and that all changes with the seasons. So these were sowed in December. Okay. And we're just starting to pick fruit now.
Right, but that's because it's been colder.
That's right.
The greenhouse ain't as warm.
Your days are shorter. Day length plays more of a role in all of that than anybody gives it credit. So right now, the peppers that are over here on the table, we'll be picking them in July.
Right, that's crazy. So it is, today is April 28th, and so that's about 120 days plus on these tomatoes that we've got behind us.
Yep.
How much, so we are probably, what is this, maybe 15 yards, maybe 30 feet worth of
So this greenhouse is 44 wide by 96 long.
Okay.
So we're roughly 100 feet.
How many 10-pound cases of tomatoes will a row pick you?
So they say to put tomato plants, you can go as dense as 4 square feet per plant, which these are about 8-ish. Okay. Figure in square footage and the row space and by row width that we've got. You can go as close as 4 square feet per plant, but you start to drop size, you start to drop quality, you get it crowded where the plants can't breathe. There again, you get back into your disease issues, but we're supposed to be able to grab 10 pounds per plant.
Per plant?
Correct. Per plant. So
how much higher will this get?
One box. So these will actually, the Cherokees, most of the heirloom tomatoes are indeterminates. So that plant doesn't top.
Gotcha.
It tops if we top it.
Gotcha.
Physically come in here and remove the top. So it'll go up and back down and then back up again.
That's crazy.
So it will keep going for a while.
Right.
As long as we keep it clean.
Do you have these? Are these up here so that when it gets up that tall, it's got support?
So no.
Or is that for something else?
That's what we first started with.
Okay.
So when we first started this greenhouse, and there's a couple cables been taken out. These here, there was a row of tomatoes under each. 2 rows of tomatoes, 2 rows of tomatoes, 2 rows of tomatoes, 2 rows of tomatoes. So, that's figured, and those were that spacing 12 inches apart. That was 4 squares per plant.
Gotcha.
And when we first started getting into the produce, I heard a guy talk, and I said, man, greenhouse tomatoes that's the quickest way to make $1 million. Well, little did I know, it took $2 million to make $1 million. So it's the easiest way to lose $1 million. So yeah, it's the perfect storm for all the plants. But it's also the perfect storm for any and every disease, any and every insect. I mean, you're giving them the perfect environment.
Right.
I mean, it's exactly
they got perfect humid. They got the airflow. They got things to eat off of.
That's right. And everything thrives in here.
Interesting. Why do you keep doing it then?
It's a way to get the season started. So as opposed to growing through the winter, which is what we designed this greenhouse to do, we started growing one succession early and one succession late out of our field crops. So that way we've just got a little season extension on both sides. It still gives us time to get everything cleaned out and have quote unquote downtime in here. So we give this between 30 and 45 days where there's nothing in here, there's no heat on, there's no electricity in here. Typically it's in January, so we freeze everything out as opposed to solarizing everything.
Gotcha. And that kills anything that may still be here. That lets the natural process kind of come through.
That lessens compounding error with your insects that stay from one crop cycle to the next.
Interesting. I just learned a bunch.